So, good morning or good night, and welcome wherever you are to another interview of The Shield Doing the Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and tonight we're talking with Zachary Amster. He's the guitarist and vocalist for the band Abrams. And Abrams is a band that plays like, if you like bands like Mastodon, Queens of the Stone Age, that type of vibe, like progressive, kind of stonerish type of metal. So first of all, Zachary, how are you today?
I'm good, Hector, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So yeah, I know that last week on September the 9th, you put out your fourth album, In the Dark. That's exciting. What was the process for that album like?
Yeah, man. So since we're talking, it's been less than a week since it's been out in the world. Fourth record, like you mentioned, out on our awesome label, Small Stone Records. It just feels really, really good to get it out. Every record, there's so much work, so much time, so much effort, that goes into every little detail. So it's been about 2 years in the making. So to get it out and to get some good feedback, some great responses from fans, new and old, it feels really great, man. Like I said, it's just a very labor intensive thing to do these type of projects, and it just feels great to get it out.
Yeah, and something that that I liked about the album is that it's very varied in sound. It has harsher songs with more mellower tracks. Like for example, like Hell starts the album like really like on a fast pace, but then you have like a song like a Body Pillow that's
Yeah.
more chill and relaxing. So it goes through different like ups and highs. So when you're writing this album, like what inspires your lyrics?
Cool, man. Well, that was kind of the goal, going back to the super heavy and super chill, like to kind of have like a dynamic variance, where we don't want to just basically blast everything on 10 for the entire album. My favorite records have a little bit of everything. They've got that heavy, metal crushing songs, and then they've got the mellower, more ambient, ethereal, type of sounds too, that I think we did a pretty damn good job. If I can pat myself on the back, kind of
Yeah.
mixing it up a little bit. But lyrically, we didn't really go into the record. We never really go into records like with a concept, if you will. They kind of just naturally happen. So we wrote most of this record. We wrote all of it during the pandemic, right? So completely pretty much isolated, which was the first record we usually write in the room together. So this is the first
Mhm.
record where it's like we're demoing by ourselves a lot, which was really cool, and I think kind of benefited the songs and ourselves artistically as just songwriters. Our just craftsmanship's kind of flourished a little bit, if you will, because we can actually spend a lot of time and hearing it come back out of these speakers, and kind of just getting inspired with what we're hearing, as a listener, instead of just jamming it out in the room. There's benefits to that too, but lyrically, it's kind of a dark time, right? Where we didn't know what the hell
Yeah.
was going on. So the album is called In the Dark, where there's a title track of the song that I think conceptualizes the entire theme that kind of just naturally happened, where it kind of goes about saying, there's some lyrics in there that repeat throughout the record, where it's not really feeling comfortable in your own skin. Maybe the person who is, what's on the surface doesn't really, and it isn't really exactly what you see, what you're feeling on the inside. And personally, that's kind of how I've been feeling, the past couple of years, where it's like kind of a depressive concept there, but there's more positivity and hope and how to overcome that, which I think is the main concept of the record generally, if that makes sense.
So it's like the main concept, if I'm understanding, is like stepping out of the dark. and like going to the light, like going like is that the metaphor that you're trying to convey?
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes, like the light at at the end of the tunnel, hopefully isn't a train.
Yeah.
As I like to say it. But yeah, there's definitely positivity in trying to overcome, that kind of self-sabotage, self-doubt, beating yourself up, kind of just being alone for the past couple of years and being in your own thoughts. And for me personally, just writing throughout that time definitely kept me sane. We must have demoed close to 30 songs for the record. So that's basically, all I would do. I'd get off work. Thank God I was still working. That kept my mind going too. Get off work and just write, just get inspired, through my guitar and my voice, really.
Nice. So I'm gonna show the artwork here of the album. It's a pretty cool artwork. It looks very retro. Who did the artwork?
Yes, I am a big fan of it. Artist, his name is Robin Nista. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name correct, but it's spelled Gnista.
Mm.
Robbins, I believe, is he's overseas. What we to us, our record is pretty different than our previous efforts, where if Abram were to write like a psychedelic rock record, this would be it. So we wanted to kind of display that and find the perfect artist who just nails that type of artwork. And Robin, I mean, if you see his art, you kind of, if you're familiar with it, you know that it's definitely his style is pretty, pretty spot on and very psychedelic and cool like that. So he's an amazing graphic designer, does a bunch of, concert posters, other album art. He does a lot of stuff for the label Heavy Psych Sounds, which has a lot of, like heavy psych stoner bands and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah,
On it.
cool bands on
Yeah,
the label.
yeah, for sure. So I thought he nailed it, and I'm a big fan of it. Kind of fits too with the title, with In the Dark, there's this really beautiful like prism of neon colors right in the middle. So there's that little, kind of goes with the theme that we were just touching on.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty cool, and like I said, kind of retro-ish vibes to it. So, out of the album, which one was your favorite song, and why? And which one was the hardest to write?
Oh man, good question. It's hard to pick one favorite.
Oh yeah.
If I were to, I'd say to me it's track 3, Better Living. That one right now is my favorite. It kind of changes, because
Mhm.
but right now I'm really digging on that one. It's just got a really amazing bass line, and the chorus is some of the catchiest. It's one of the catchiest vocal hooks I've ever written. That I don't know, I'm really stoked on. We just finished a video for it that should be coming out soon that we're gonna send out into the world. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Um, and the hardest one to write, I'd say, I don't know about hardest, but most difficult was probably you touched on Body Pillow. Body Pillow was like a totally new thing for us, right? Because it's kind of this chilled, laid back, almost like shoegazy type of a
Yeah,
song.
a little bit of shoegaze on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So our new guitarist, Patrick, he brought in these beautiful riffs, which would become Body Pillow. And when he first brought him in, we were like, this is cool, but like, is this an Abrams song? We weren't really confident on that. But then, after fleshing it out, once we got in the room together, he demoed it. Um, we were like, hell yeah, we're gonna do this. And then that kind of gave us the confidence to kind of, chill out a little bit, where it's like we really want to focus on those dynamics, right? Because I think it really packs a punch when you kind of can chill out, and then those louder parts within that same chilled out song, just pack a bigger punch and kind of have a heavier hit to it. So that one was kind of difficult just for us as a band to just, all right, this is where we're going. let's do it. And then I think it's just the direction the band really needed to be comfortable in going. So yeah.
Yeah. I know you mentioned your new guitar player. How was that difference from being a three-piece band to being four people? How did that change your sound?
Oh man. Well, when we were a three-piece band, we would still record like we were, a full, four-piece band. So we weren't able to recreate that wall of sound, that thickness that comes across in our recording. So having Patrick, not only just there to help write, and he's a brilliant writer, brilliant guitar player, and just a awesome hang. You got to have those brothers in the band, but being able to recreate our big sound live takes a lot of pressure off me, because I don't have to worry about switching for a solo that's like gonna just drop out with the back. So he definitely helps hold it down for us live, and just fills out our sound perfectly.
Nice. No, yeah. That's good. And yeah, I thought the album, was very enjoyable. Uh
Thank you.
so right now, are there some upcoming tours coming your way?
Yeah, man, we're gonna go out in November. We're gonna do a run that's going West Coast. I think you're East Coast, right?
Yeah, I'm in Miami. Yeah.
Miami's hard to get to, man.
Oh yeah.
But we're gonna do a run in November going west. Those dates are getting finalized right now, so hopefully we'll get those out as soon as possible. We'll be going with our friends, amazing heavy band called In the Company of Serpents. If you haven't checked them out, they're a really awesome, like stoner doom heavy band. We've been friends with them for a while, so we're stoked to do some dates with them. After that, we're gonna hit it hard in 2023 too. So keep your eyes peeled for the live dates coming to a town near you.
Nice. So you were saying that growing up you liked albums that were very like varied. Like could you say like three albums that inspire you to this day, or they're a huge influence for you as a musician?
I love that question, and it changes like weekly. But like
Yeah, I bet.
number one for me, my favorite record of all time, Mark Lanigan band Bubblegum. Just to me, that is one of the coolest records ever. It's got this really cool lo-fi, recording, a bunch of guest artists, a lot of Queens of the Stone Age guys, Afghan Wigs, PJ Harvey. He's my favorite vocalist of all time. Rest in peace. That was one of the big losses for me, that just, that just like, oh, why? I'm so glad I got to see him live a bunch though. That's just that record is perfect. Another one in high school, a really important record for me was Delouse in the Comatorium, the
Okay.
Mars Volta. That record just changed my whole view on like what music could be. Probably the greatest drumming record of my generation. John Theodore, one of the best drummers ever, drums for Queens of the Stone Age now. Yeah, just a crazy progress. That's like those two records are very difficult to like. They were growers, right? They weren't like right off the bat. I didn't really get them. So, but the more and more I listened to them, the more I became obsessed with them. And I think that's just like, to me, the calling of like the best records you don't really get the first go around, and those two
Yeah.
especially were like, I remember that Mars Volta record, like I couldn't get into it because to me it was like, oh, this is just noise. I liked one song. It was the super catchy one. That's like the Zeppelin song, Cicatriz ESP. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, even though it's 20 years old. But then the more you listen to it, the vocals on that record, especially Cedric's voice, were just so amazing. Like it's like Neo Zeppelin. I just love that stuff.
Yeah, I know they're putting
Um,
an album out soon, I think.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow, and it's like a completely left turn. They're doing like, it's like a Latin pop record, which I'm not too excited about, but they're artists, man. They do what they want to do, and I respect them completely. I'm going to see them next month. I'm stoked. Third record, shit, dude, you're killing me. Let's do, dude, Queens of the Stone Age self-titled, the first one. It's just very catchy. It's that next step from, Caius into Queens of the Stone Age, which, both those bands are very important to me. And that first record has some really catchy, beautiful stuff on it. If Only is like one of my favorite songs of all time. It's like 2.5 minutes. It's got the coolest drum beat. And yeah, those would be my three right now.
Nice. And I love your rocking Golden Girls t-shirt.
Dude, it's a Golden Girls t-shirt, but it says Sex in the City at the bottom. I just picked it up and it's like, it's one of my favorites. Good eye.
It's hilarious. Well, if you think about it, they were the original Sex in the City.
They were, man. They were.
And they didn't have to do more shows. But yeah, no, the album In the Dark, I thought it was pretty cool record. I didn't actually know the band previously, so I discovered it through In the Dark. But yeah, I'm like, where was this band that I hadn't discovered? But they sent me the promo and I listened to the singles. I'm like, yeah, this sounds like something I like. Cool, especially because it says influences like Mastodon, Queens of the Stone Age. I'm like, I like those bands. So for anyone that likes those bands, I think you will dig this record. And I like that it's, your singing style, you can change, you can do the cleans, you can do the harsher, but I can understand it. So that's always a plus.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the kind words, man. And we love hearing that stuff too. People just discovering us within this last week of this new record. That's the goal, man. We're trying to get this into as many ears as possible. And we worked a lot on our vocals for this record, especially. And fans of Mastodon, fans of Queens of the Stone Age. And if you're a fan of anything that's like heavy rock, give it a shot. There's something for you on this record. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, the thing is, right now in today's age, there's so many bands and so many things you can stream that a lot of good music go under the cracks. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you gotta like, sometimes the best albums are not like the best known names. You have to dig deep to find it. So before I let you go, like, I know that you said you're going on tour soon. When you go on tour, what are your 3 most essential items that you need on tour to survive?
Sleep. Sleep is number 1. Dude, we would do, because we toured a lot, especially pre-pandemic, and we kind of got screwed with, our last record came out right during the pandemic. So we're stoked to get back out again, man. It's been a minute, but sleep is number 1 because we go out. We play a lot of small places. A lot of times we're crashing on friends couches and stuff, and you're not getting good sleep. You're partying a little bit. We like to have fun, and then you're driving a lot, so you want to be careful. Your body is an engine. You got to definitely take care of it. Sleep's number 1. Try not to eat so shitty every day, like McDonald's and gas station food, because like I said, you got to take care of your body, especially when we're trying to hit those high notes, man. You gotta take care of yourself. And 3 would just be, you gotta have fun, man, because the road can be tough. Sometimes you're not gonna have a good show on a Tuesday night in Tulsa. And you just got to remember that you're doing this because you love it. It's the love for the music, the love for your bandmates. And just have fun, man. That's what it's all about, So
nothing against people in Tulsa.
Nothing at all. We love Tulsa. Trust me, we love Tulsa. But sometimes, it's a hit or miss,
Yeah, I know. You had to pick a name. So Zachary, I want to thank you again for taking the time to talk with me and talk about In the Dark. So people, In the Dark is out. I know it's out digitally, but are there physical, like CDs, vinyls that people can order still?
Yep. CD and vinyl orders are available through Smallstone Records. So it's smallstone.com.
Nice.
And they're shipping that stuff out as we speak.
Nice. So if there's some left, I'll put a link in the description so people can go and get it and support the music. So Zachary, again, thank you for taking the time, and hopefully we can chat sometime in the future. I had fun talking about influences and stuff. So people, check out the band Abrams, and until next time, this is Hector, the Shield Doing a Couch, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.